Hello everyone, Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in EEE Department, working in ISL Engineering College. I am taking the subject Power System 2 for EEE third year students. So previous classes we have seen about the course outcomes, course objectives, syllabus and suggested readings. Okay, and I have just given the introduction about performance of transmission lines. In today's class, I am going to say about the performance of single phase and three phase short transmission lines. So let us see the contents of first unit. First unit consists of transmission line theory. So under that, we are going to see the performance of short transmission lines, medium transmission lines and long transmission lines, the calculations and some numericals, tuned lines, power circuit diagram and their applications, corona causes, disruptive and visual, critical voltages, power loss, minimization of corona effects. Let us first see the introduction part. So classification of overhead transmission lines is of three types, that is short, medium and long. Okay, there are three types of transmission lines: short transmission lines, medium transmission lines and long transmission lines. So the important considerations in the design and operation of a transmission line will be the determination of voltage drop, line losses and efficiency of transmission. So these values will be influenced by the line constants RL, C of transmission line. So the voltage drop in the line will depend upon the values of three line constants, that is RL and C, and the resistance of transmission line conductors will be most important cause of power loss in the line and determines the transmission efficiency. So we are going to calculate voltage regulation, line losses and efficiency of transmission lines. So transmission line is having three constants, resistance, inductance and capacitance, which are uniformly distributed along the whole length of the line. Resistance and inductance forms the series impedance. Capacitance existing between conductors for a single phase line or from a conductor to neutral for three phase lines forms a shunt path through the length of the line. So capacitance effect will introduce complications in transmission line calculations. Depending upon the manner in which capacitance is taken into account, overhead transmission lines are classified as short, medium and long. So short transmission lines is when the length of an overhead transmission line is up to 50 kilometers and the line voltage is comparatively low, it is usually considered as the short transmission line. Due to smaller length and lower voltage, capacitance effects will be small and hence can be neglected. So whenever we are studying the performance of short transmission line, only resistance and inductance of line are taken into account. Next is medium transmission line. When the length of overhead transmission line is about 50 to 150 km and the line voltage is moderately high, that is greater than 20 kilovolts and less than 100 kilovolt, it is considered as medium transmission line. Due to sufficient length and voltage of the line, capacitance effects are taken into account. For purpose of calculations, distributed capacitance of the line is divided and lumped in the form of condensers shunted across the line at one or more points. Next is long transmission line. When the length of overhead transmission line is more than 150 km and line voltage is very high, that is greater than 100 kilovolt, it is considered as long transmission line. For the treatment of such line constants will be considered uniformly distributed over the whole length of the line and rigorous methods will be employed for the solution. So to get the exact solution of any transmission line, we must consider the fact that the constant of the lines are not lumped but they are distributed uniformly throughout the length of the transmission line. However, reasonable accuracy can be obtained by considering these constants as lumped for short and medium transmission lines. Let us see a few important terms. While studying the performance of transmission line, it is desirable to determine its voltage regulation and transmission efficiency. So let us see what are these two terms. Okay, voltage regulation, first one. So when a transmission line is carrying current, there is a voltage drop in the line due to resistance and inductance of the line. The result is that receiving end voltage VR of the line is generally less than the sending end voltage Vs. So VR is less than Vs. This voltage drop, that is Vs minus Vr in the line, is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage and it is called as voltage regulation. So the difference in voltage at the receiving end of the transmission line between conditions of no load and full load is called as voltage regulation and it is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage. So mathematically we can write the formula for voltage regulation as percentage voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100. So voltage regulation of a line should be low, that is increase in load current should make very little difference in the receiving end voltage. Now let us see after voltage regulation transmission efficiency. Power obtained at the receiving end of a transmission line is generally less than the sending end power due to losses in the line resistance. Ratio of receiving end power to the sending end power of a transmission line is known as transmission efficiency of the line. So percentage transmission efficiency can be taken as receiving end power by sending end power into 100 or it can be written as VR IR cos phi R by VS IS cos phi S into 100. VR IR and cos phi R are the receiving end voltage, receiving end voltage, receiving end current and receiving end power factor, whereas VS IS and cos phi S are the sending end voltage, sending end current and sending end power factor. The effects of the line capacitance can be neglected for a transmission line. So while studying the performance of such line, only resistance and inductance of the line are taken into account. Now let us see the performance of a single phase short transmission line. So effects of line capacitance are neglected for short transmission line. Therefore, while studying the performance of such line, only resistance and inductance are taken into account. Equivalent circuit of single phase short transmission line is shown in the figure. So total line resistance and inductance are shown as concentrated or lumped instead of being distributed. The circuit is a simple AC series circuit. Let I equal to load current, R equal to loop resistance, that is resistance of both conductors, XL is loop reactance, VR is the receiving end voltage, cos phi R is receiving end power factor for lagging, VS is sending end voltage and cos phi S is sending end power factor. Let us see the phasor diagram. So this is the phasor diagram of the line for lagging load power factor, the left side one. So from the right angle triangle, this is the for this for lagging load power factor, this is the phasor diagram. Second one is the phasor diagram. So from this second diagram, so what I can say here is that we have taken current I as the reference phasor. OA is representing the receiving end voltage VR. Okay, OA is representing VR, leading I by phi R. So this VR is leading I by an angle of phi R. AB is representing the drop IR. Okay, AB is the drop IR in phase with current I. And BC is representing inductive drop IXL and leads current I by 90 degrees. And it is leading the current I by 90 degrees. OC is representing the sending end voltage Vs, Vs is leading I by phi s. Okay. So if whatever I said here, everything we have marked here. So this is the phasor diagram of line for lagging load power factor. So from the right angle triangle ODC, we can write OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. See in this one, in this triangle ODC, we can write OC square, hypotenuse square is equal to this is OD square plus DC square. And what is OC? OC is nothing but VS. And OD is nothing but what? OE plus ED. And DC is nothing but DB plus BC. And OE plus ED, we can write it as VR cos phi r. OE we can write as VR cos phi r. If you take cos phi r adjacent by hypotenuse, that is OE by OA. OA is VR here. Okay. So from that I can write this OE as VR cos phi r, and ED is equal to IR here. Okay. And DB is nothing but VR sin phi r. That is same. Sin phi r means opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite of this phi r is dB. Hypotenuse is OA. So dB by OA is sin phi r. So dB is equal to VR sin phi r, and BC is nothing but IXL. BC is IXL. So substituting all these values, okay. So VS square is equal to OE plus ED square plus DB plus BC square. OE is VR cos phi r, ED is IR, DB is VR sin phi r, BC is IXL, and Vs will be equal to root of all this. VR cos phi r plus IR square plus VR sin phi r plus IXL whole square. Percentage voltage regulation formula we know, it is Vs minus VR by VR into 100. Sending in power factor cos phi s is OD by OC, VR cos phi r plus IR by Vs, and power delivered is VR IR cos phi r. Line loss is IR square. Power sent out VR IR cos phi r plus I square r. And transmission efficiency is power delivered by power sent out. If you take percentage, multiply by 100. So power delivered is VR IR cos phi r, and power sent out is VR IR cos phi r plus I square r. Approximate expression for sending in voltage Vs can be obtained as follows. Okay. So draw perpendicular from B and C on OA as seen here. What we are doing here? We are drawing a perpendicular from B and C. From B and C we are drawing one perpendicular. Okay. On OA. Then OC is nearly equal to OF. So OC is equal to OF is equal to OC is nearly equal to OF, that is equal to OA plus AF. That is AF is again equal to what? AG plus GF. So OC is equal to OA plus AG plus GF, or OA plus AG plus BH. GF is equal to BH also. So substitute all the values. OC is VS, OA is VR, AG is IR cos phi r, and BH is IXL sin phi r. So solution in complex notation. It is convenient and profitable to make the line calculations in complex notation. Taking VR as reference phasor, draw the phasor diagram as shown like this in this figure. So from the phasor diagram we can write Vs is equal to vector sum of VR and Iz. Vs is equal to VR plus Iz, and VR is equal to VR plus J0, and I equal to I angle minus phi r. I equal to I angle minus phi r, that is equal to I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. And Z is equal to R plus JXL, Vs is VR plus Iz. VR can be written as VR plus J0, Iz can be written as, I is written as what here? I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. Z is equal to R plus JXL. So we can write this as VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r plus J into IXL cos phi r minus IR sin phi r. If you take Vs is equal to then square root of all these terms. Okay. Second term under the root is quite small and can be neglected with reasonable accuracy. So approximate expression for Vs becomes Vs is equal to VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. So this second term can be neglected. Following points are noted here. Approximate formula for Vs gives fairly correct results for lagging power factors. However, appreciable error is caused for leading power factors. So approximate expression for Vs should be used for lagging power factor only. Second is that solution in complex notation is in more presentable form. So for reasons associated with economy, transmission of electric power is done by three-phase system. So let us see now the performance of three-phase short transmission lines. So three-phase system may be regarded as consisting of three single-phase units, each wire transmitting one-third of the total power. So as a matter of convenience, we generally analyze three-phase system by considering one phase only. Expression for regulation, efficiency, etc. derived for a single-phase line can also be applied to a three-phase system. Since only one phase is considered, phase values of three-phase system should be taken. So Vs and Vr are the phase voltages, R and XL are the resistance and inductive reactance per phase respectively. So this first figure is showing a star connected generator supplying a balanced star connected load through a transmission line. Each conductor has a resistance of R ohms and inductive reactance of XL ohms. And this figure is showing the one phase separately. Okay, single phase we are taking separately. So calculations can now be made in the same way as for a single phase line. So first is effect of load on power, regulation and efficiency. So regulation and efficiency of transmission line will depend to a considerable extent upon the power factor of the load. So first one is effect on regulation. Expression for voltage regulation of a short transmission line is given by percentage regulation is equal to IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r by VR into 100 for lagging power factor. And for leading power factor, expression is same, only the sign will be different. Plus will become negative here, minus. Okay, for leading power factor. IR cos phi r minus IXL sin phi r by VR into 100 for leading power factor. Following conclusions can be drawn from the above expressions. When load power factor is lagging or unity or such leading that IR cos phi r is greater than IXL sin phi r, then voltage regulation is positive. That is, receiving end voltage VR will be less than the sending end voltage VS. For a given VR and I, this is the second point. For a given VR and I, voltage regulation of line increases with the decrease in power factor for lagging loads. Students, here these are the suffixes. VS is not beside V, it is suffix. Okay, VR is also suffix of R. VR, V suffix R, V suffix S, X, F suffix L. Okay, I hope it is understood to everyone. Let us see the third point. When the load power factor is leading to this extent that IXL sin phi r is greater than IR cos phi r, then voltage regulation is negative, that is, receiving end voltage VR is more than the sending end voltage VS. For a given VR and I, voltage regulation of line decreases with a decrease in power factor for leading loads. Second one is effect on transmission efficiency. Power delivered to the load depends upon the power factor. P is equal to VR I cos phi r for single phase line. Here I is nothing but IR, or that is equal to IS. Sending end voltage or receiving end voltage, anything is same. Okay. Therefore, I is equal to what? P by VR cos phi r. P is equal to 3 VR I cos phi r for three phase line. And current will be what? P by 3 VR cos phi r. Okay. For single phase line, P is equal to VI cos VRI cos phi r. For three phase line, P is equal to 3 VRI cos phi r. Okay, students? So it is clear that in each case, for a given amount of power to be transmitted, and receiving end voltage load current is inversely proportional to load power factor cos phi r. So can you clear? So for a given amount of power to be transmitted and receiving end voltage, current I is inversely proportional to phi r, cos phi r. I is inversely proportional to cos phi r. Consequently, with the decrease in load power factor, load current and hence the line losses will be increased. This will lead to the conclusion that transmission efficiency of a line will decrease with the decrease in load power factor and vice versa. So let us see a few numericals based on this topic, that is short transmission line. First one, a single phase overhead transmission line delivers 1100 kilowatt at 33 kV at 0.8 lagging power factor. Total resistance and inductive reactance of the line are 10 ohms and 15 ohms respectively. Determine sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency. Students, all of you make a note of all these points, important, very important points. All of you should solve the numericals also. Not only these numericals from textbook also you solve. Please refer to textbooks for this subject, PS2. One is Principles of Power System by V.K. Mehta, and another one is Power Systems by C.L. Vadhva. Okay, these are the two standard textbooks which you have to follow for PS2 subject. Okay, students. So let us first see load power factor solution of this numerical. So single phase overhead transmission line is delivering 1100 kilowatt at 33 kV at 0.8 power factor lagging. Total resistance and inductive reactance of lines are 10 ohms and 15 ohms respectively. Determine sending end voltage, sending end power and transmission efficiency. So cos phi r is given as 0.8 lagging. Line impedance Z is equal to R plus JXL. R is given as 10 and XL is given as 15. So 10 plus J15 is your value of Z. Receiving end voltage VR is 33 kV. K is nothing but 10 power 3. So 33,000 volts. Line current is equal to kilowatt into 10 power 3 by VR cos phi r. Kilowatt or power is given as 33, that is 1100 into 10 power 3 by VR is 33,000 into 0.8 is the power factor. So when you calculate, the value of current will be 41.67 amps. Cos phi r is 0.8. So phi will be cos inverse of 0.8. So phi is equal to some 36 point some value. Then sine of that value is 0.6. So you have to remember every time whenever cos phi r is 0.8, sine phi, cos phi is 0.8, sine phi is 0.6. Okay. Equivalent circuit diagram and phasor diagram are shown in the figure. So taking receiving end voltage VR as a reference phasor. So we are taking VR as reference here. So VR is equal to VR plus J0, that is 33,000 volts, and current I is equal to I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. So substitute all the values we know, cos phi, sin phi and I value. So we are going to get the I value as 33.33 minus J25. Sending end voltage Vs is VR plus Iz. Substitute all the values. Okay, so we are going to get, see, always addition subtraction should be done in rectangular form and multiplication division should be done in polar form. Okay, so here we are doing addition here. So in rectangular form we have done 33,708.3 plus J250. Magnitude will be what? Root of this value, that is 33,709 volts. Angle between Vs and Vr is alpha is tan inverse of 250 by 33,708.3, that is 0.42 degrees. Sending in power factor angle is phi s is equal to phi r plus alpha, that is 36.87 plus 0.42, that is 37.29. Sending in power factor cos phi s is cos of this value, that is 0.7956 lagging. Third point, line losses I square r. I is 41.67 square into r is 10. So that is 17.364 kilowatt. Output power delivered is 1100 kilowatt and power sent is 1100 plus 17.3, that is 1117.364 kilowatt. Efficiency, transmission efficiency is power delivered by power sent into 100. 1100 by 1117.364 into 100, that is 98.44%. Vs and I cos phi s, Vs and phi s can be calculated as follows also. That is Vs is Vr plus Ir cos phi r plus Ixl sin phi r. That is 32,708.39. So earlier we got this as 33,709. So approximately same as this value. Cos phi s is Vr cos phi r plus Ir by Vs 0.7958. Okay. 0.7956 we got. So it is almost same. So we can calculate these values Vs and cos phi s as this formula also. Second one, what is the maximum length in kilometer for a single phase transmission line having copper conductor of 0.775 centimeter square cross section over which 200 kilowatt at unity power factor and at 3300 volt are to be delivered. Efficiency of transmission is 90%. Take specific resistance as 1.725 micro ohm centimeter. Let us see the solution. Receiving in power is 200 kilowatt, that is 200 into 10 power 3 watts. Transmission efficiency is 0.9. Sending in power is 200 into 10 power 3 by 0.9, that is 2,22,222 watts. Line losses is this value minus 2 into 10 power 3, 200 into 10 power 3, that is 22,222 watts. Line current is 200 into 10 power 3 by 3300 into 1, that is 60.6 amps, and then R is the resistance of one conductor. Line losses will be equal to 2I square R. So substitute all the values, we are going to get the value of RS 3.025 ohms. R value is the formula for R is rho L by A. So from this we can write L is equal to RA by rho. So substitute all the values, we are going to get the value of length as 13.6 kilometer. Third numerical. An overhead three-phase transmission line delivers 5000 kilowatts at 22 kilovolt at 0.8 power factor lagging. Resistance and reactance of each conductor is 4 ohms and 6 ohms respectively. Determine sending end voltage, percentage regulation and transmission efficiency. So load power factor cos phi r is 0.8 lagging. Receiving end voltage VR is 22,000 by root 3, that is 12,700 volts. So it is not mentioned as star or delta. So if it is not mentioned, take it as star. Okay. So that is why we are taking here star connection. Impedance per phase is Z is equal to 4 plus J6. Line current I equal to 5000 into 10 power 3 by 3 into 12,700 into 0.8. 164 amps, and cos phi r is 0.8, that is sin phi r is 0.6. Taking VR as reference phasor, so VR is equal to VR plus J0, that is 12,700 volts. I equal to I into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. Substitute all the values. We are going to get the value as 131.2 minus J 98.4. Sending in voltage per phase is Vs is equal to VR plus Iz. Substitute all the values 1381.5. 815.2 plus J 393.6. Magnitude taking the square root 138.20.8 volts. So Vs is equal to root 3 into this value. So it is 23.938 kilovolt. Percentage regulation Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100, 8.285 percentage, and line losses is 3I square R, 322.752 kilowatt. Transmission efficiency is 5000 by 5000 plus 322.5752 into 100, 93.94%. Let us see next numerical. Estimate the distance over which a load of 15,000 kilowatt at a power factor 0.8 lagging can be delivered by a three-phase transmission line having conductors each of resistance 1 ohm per kilometer. Voltage at the receiving end is to be 132 kilovolt and loss in the transmission is to be 5%. I equal to power delivered by root 3 into line voltage into power factor. Substitute all the values. We are going to get the value of I as 82 amps. Line losses is 5% of power delivered, that is 0.05 into 15,000, that is 750 kilowatt. Let R ohms be the resistance of one conductor and line losses is 3I square R, or 750 into 10 power 3, that is 3 into 82 square into R equal to 37.18 ohms. Resistance of each conductor per kilometer is 1 ohm. It is given. Length of the line is 37.18 kilometer. Thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope today's class is clear to everyone. Thanks for watching the video.